Okay, so tonight it's Tuesday, August 7th. If you're got some background noise, go ahead and mute yourself out. It's Tuesday, August 7th, 2018. This is our Zoom Tuesday night meet and greet kind of training type of thing where we just kind of get together and talk about some things. And right now we're covering the book GoPro by Eric Worre, who is a renowned network marketer. And just a really great example of someone who's created success in the industry, who has been with companies as a distributor, an executive, and then has turned himself into a trainer. And so he has that experience. There's a lot of trainers out there today that are they go out and train on network marketing, but they've never made it in network marketing. So having somebody like Eric, that's available to be able to teach people certain things, it's kind of really cool because he's been there, he's done it, he's been on every single side of the business, and so it's a really great it's a great experience to be able to be a part of. So right now we're at chapter 8, which is skill number 5, which is helping your prospects become customers or distributors. And for me, this is a really big important moment for people because a lot of times some people are just they're looking to be a customer or they're looking to be an affiliate, and it's your business to be able to guide them and help them because not everybody wants to be an affiliate or can be an affiliate. It's one of those things where you've got to just kind of ask them the right questions. And so he kind of goes through this process with people. And one of the things that I was talking about, or what he was talking about in the book itself, is that a lot of people they're out trying to get people. When you're out trying to get people, there's that getting energy. There's that energy from people that they feel like you don't have their interest at heart. You're not really concerned about what they really need or what they really want. And so what happens is you end up hurting the relationship because you're not listening to their needs. And so talking with people and finding out where they are and what they're looking for is really important because you want to be able to educate people and let them know about the products, let them know about the opportunity, and kind of guide them into what's the best opportunity for them. So in the book, he actually gives several different steps to be able to do this. And one of the first steps, which I don't mind reading from the book itself, he talks about when you take on network marketing, I think one of the biggest challenges for most people in the beginning is the rejection. When I first got started 20 years ago, the rejection really hit me hard. It really hurt. It really offended me. It pissed me off. It made me like almost shameful of doing what I was doing, thinking that there was something wrong with me. And so, one of the things is that you've got to really be conscious of it because I can tell people all day not to take it personal, but the fact of it is when somebody looks at you and goes, "No, this is stupid." Right? Or, "Hey, no, this isn't for me." Or, I don't need that. I need something else. And you're kind of like, "Oh my gosh, if you would just try this product out, you'd be really, great at it, or you'd really get great results." And a lot of times too, we take rejection a certain way, which is fascinating to me because, when people take our products, our products are not a miracle pill. They're not going to, radically change the way they feel or the way that they function in everyday life, and they're just going to start shedding pounds like there's no tomorrow. And there's a lot of products out there and companies out there that promote like energy and weight loss, but they're full of caffeine, they're full of sugar, they're full of things that cause people to have this initial reaction. And so they think, "Oh my God, this product is working so well for me." And it has nothing to do with the product working for you. What it's done is it's basically kicked you in the ass and stimulated your flight or flight system. And it's telling you like, do something now or you're gonna get hurt kind of thing. So it kicks in that fight or flight. And that's not a healthy way because what that does is that spikes your adrenals. It causes you to be, overstimulated, and which causes a lot of stress. And you can't live in that state. And so what our products do are more along the healthy way. It's that integrity of what a product stands for, which is giving your body what it needs and allowing your body to heal itself and to get the energy and the food and the nutrients that it needs based upon what we're providing it. We're not stimulated into trying to trick it into thinking that it's something bad. So, but it's fascinating because when people tell us no about our product, we sometimes take it personal. And so the first step of this is not to take it personal. Be detached from the outcome itself so that you don't get distraught, because this is the life of a distributor. It goes up, it goes down, 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 it goes up, it goes down. That's the way that most people function. That's the way most people respond to business. And so what you have to do, you have to be able to be very clear about what your intention is and what your focus is, because you want to make sure that you stay steady to the course. The only way that you're ever going to achieve your goals is consistent daily action. You don't get in the car to go to the grocery store and then get to the first light and go, oh, this isn't working. I can't believe I got stopped here. Ugh, I'm just going to go home now, right? You don't do that. But it's so fascinating how when people get a rejection or they get a no or they get an objection to what they're doing, they immediately go, oh, I guess this isn't for me. And so we have to be reminded of that, what, the journey is part of the process. The journey is part of that idea of where we're going, and you have to stay the course. When I was an affiliate with the company Monavie, when I made my first $100,000 a month check, the first year and a half was, oh my God, a struggle. Like, it was a struggle. It was tough, making money. It was tough getting things going. It was tough. It was tough. It was tough. It was tough. And there were a lot of times I was thinking, what the hell am I doing? Like, I was one of the top recruiters in the company, but I wasn't making any money. I wasn't achieving the goals and the success that I had wanted and dreamed about. And it wasn't until I just kind of gave up that idea and became unattached to the outcome and started focusing on just working with people, right? And doing what Eric talks about, which is educating people and working with them to help them solve their needs. That's when things started to change, because I started to listen to people. I started to hear what people were saying. I started to focus on what people were wanting out of the experience, rather than projecting or verbally vomiting on people to, tell them what I thought they needed. And so that's the number one thing. You can't take anything personal. If somebody objects to you, at least they're objecting to you. They're not ignoring you. They're not telling you to go, F off. It's like, whatever. So what happens is that we've got to become unattached to the outcome. Okay. That's step number one. Second, he talks about how people, when you're the business person and you're bringing a product to somebody or an opportunity to somebody, you must obtain that assumptive state. You have to assume that what you have is something that everybody needs or wants, even if they don't know that they need or want it. Okay. When I met Danny the first time, he was totally anti-network marketing products. They sucked. It was stupid. It was a pyramid scam, whatever it was. But I knew deep down in my soul, in my heart, that this was something that could literally change his life, right? To free this idea of what he wanted, because he wanted freedom. He wanted to be able not to have to be in his office. And so you've got to come from that place where you understand that what you have to offer people is good. And so you have to assume that everybody that you talk to is going to get involved. Now, it doesn't mean that you become this persistent, cheesy network marketer that never stops. If it doesn't work the first time, just kind of, keep up the casual conversation afterwards, maybe meet them again, but don't necessarily talk about it. But over time, what will happen is they will become more relaxed with you, and they will start to see you as more of a person or a friend or whoever you want to be with them. And then over time, they will start to understand that, maybe this isn't such a bad thing. I don't know how many times I've talked to people that I have gotten involved that I've never met before, but I got them involved through emails or flyers or postcards or phone calls, where I was making cold calls, putting up flyers in places, public community places, sending out emails, doing whatever I needed to do to reach out to new people. And then after the sixth or seventh month of doing it, somebody would say, wow, you know what? I've been watching your information and for the last 6 months, and I see that you're really, what you're doing here. And so I want to get involved now. And so it takes time to develop those relationships. Some people have this fantasy about the idea that they're just going to pick up the phone and cold call somebody and then close them the first time. Now, it does happen. There are specific skill sets that you can learn to help you better achieve that or accomplish that. but it requires effort and energy. And if you're not willing to put the effort and energy into your business every single day, it's not likely that you're going to be willing to put the effort and energy into learning something new. So back to the number two, which was being assumptive. You've got to assume the idea that, you know what, the focus is that you have to assume that they want to get involved. You know, I've heard so many people talking to people and they talk themselves out. This wouldn't really be for you, would it? Right? No. And it's like they totally talk themselves out of it. And so you've got to take that more assumptive idea of which is like, hey, this is, you know, so how many boxes or pouches do you want, or how many bottles do you want? Like whatever it is. And so you've got to take that assumptive close. Okay. Now the third thing, he says that it was interesting to learn that they promote themselves as much as they promote the product or the opportunity. What I mean by that is that they help the prospect make the decision by saying, you get me. When they promote themselves, it isn't like, I'm going to do everything for you. It was more like, we have a great product and a great opportunity, but I'm going to take this thing to the top and we can do it together. Okay. So it's not, you know, so many people get trapped in that desperation mode where they're talking to people and they're like, don't, you know, all you got to do is just get in and then I'll go build it for you, or I'll go do this for you, or I'll talk to all your people for you, I'll do this for you. And what you end up doing is you portray desperation. And remember, these people are looking to do what you're doing. And so the last thing that they're thinking is like, golly, I don't want to do this for everybody else that I know. I don't want to talk to everybody for everybody else. And so you've got to just say, hey, we can do it together. And we can do it together to kind of get you going, and you can work with other people and get them going. So that's how it works. Never take the idea that this is going to be work for people out of the equation. The moment that you do that, the moment you've shot yourself in the foot, because the fact of it is that everybody needs to do their work. Everybody's got to do the work they need to do. And so you have to stay focused on that and letting people know. I mean, if somebody says, hey, what's this take? Is this easy? You know what? You know, when you're really excited about something, it's always easy, but it is a lot of work. And if you watch the video message that I posted on my Facebook wall a couple of days ago, it was Eric talking about the fact that, you know what? You've got to treat this like a job every single day of the week. That if you don't punch in and you don't put in the hours, you're going to get fired. Okay. And energetically fired means you're probably going to quit because you're probably going to blame the opportunity. You're going to blame the products. You're going to blame your upline. You're going to blame your downline for not doing what they need to do. And it's all because you're not willing to do what you need to do. And that's the truth of it. And so that happens. And so that creates that experience. And so, you know, what you really have to do is put the effort in every single day to be able to create that success. You know, when I was building the business, and I built a lot of different businesses, it was a lot of time and energy and focus and work. But you know what? What happens is this is just like the metaphor, the analogy about taking off in a plane. When you first take off on a plane, it uses all the fuel. Okay, it uses most of the fuel up when it starts to take off because that's where the most energy is needed. To get that plane up in the air, it takes the majority of the fuel that it holds. Now, once you get in the air, there's less resistance. Okay, and for us, getting in the air is getting your business off the ground to where it's got some growth. If it doesn't have growth, you're still on the ground. Okay, you still have to put that energy in every single day until you get it off the ground. And so what happens is that the majority of people that know me, right, saw that my success was already in place. And so they saw me being able to travel, go on cruises, you know, do anything basically I wanted to do. And they thought, wow, that's so easy. And I was thinking to myself, no way. It took so much time, energy, and effort to get off the ground and put it up into the air to be able to create that time freedom. And so you owe it to every single person that you get involved that becomes an affiliate to let them know, hey, this is going to be some work, but it's going to be fun and we're going to have fun doing it because we're going to do it together. Okay? That's the key. You let somebody think that they're just going to come in and sign a couple of people up, you're going to destroy their opportunity because they're going to think, well, I signed 2 people up. Why the hell am I not making $100,000 a month? And it doesn't work like that. You've got to take it serious. You've got to take it like a job and create that success so that you can have that time freedom. And that time freedom, it could take a while. I haven't met anybody that hasn't gone full time in a network marketing business that started from the ground up that hasn't taken them at least a year to get to that point. Now, sure, there are other people out there that have brought over companies or people or teams, and they've created success really quickly. I think the fastest I created a $15,000 a month check was in 90 days. But I brought a team with me. I brought a team, and I was like, you know what, this is where we're going. This is because the company I was with was literally shutting down. And so we went out and we created that. So you've got to be able to put the time and effort in, because the energy that I spent before I brought that team over, was like a year and a half or 2 years. So I had built a team for almost 2 years at another company. And then when that company shut down, I took it over somewhere else, and it was creating a $15,000 a month check, because you never get to keep all the people that you bring in, right? Everybody disperses. They're like a bunch of cats, right? They're just like, pew, pew, they just leave. So that's number 3. Okay. So promote yourself. Let people know that you're going to be working with them and building with them and doing some fun things with them. All right. The 4th thing is that they are always prepared. Always. They have everything they need to get a person started on the spot, which is why we encourage people to get the game changers. If you're going to build the business, if you're going to have meetings, if you're going to do things like that, then what it is that you've got to be able to, put that experience out there where, you're getting a game changer, so that you have product on hand, so that you have that experience, right? So that you get to be able to put product in people's hands when they're getting the product themselves, or when they're signing up for the opportunity. That's important. So you've got to have everything on hand. Even if you have to order a couple of different affiliate kits, you get the leather binder, and you get the enrollment or the success manual, and you have those on hand, so that when somebody gets involved, you can get them started right away. That's going to be key, okay? Because you want to get them going right away. You don't want people to order the product and order the opportunity and then have to think about it or sit around and wait. Unless you want to give them yours, that's fine with me. Give them some of your product to get them started, because you want to get that product in them right away, okay? And I love this part. He talks about it in the 5th thing. And this is really key for me, and we've talked about this before, where he goes, they ask questions, question after question after question, and are great listeners. They act like a consultant helping a person with a problem, okay? The final act, the final solution of our products and company is not selling somebody Inspired and Unleashed. That's just where it begins, okay? So when you've gone through the process and you've actually gotten somebody to enroll or purchase Inspired and Unleashed, that's where things start to begin for you. Because now you still need to maintain that relationship. You need to maintain that support. Be there for questions. Be there for emotional support, mental support, all the different support that you can imagine as somebody's going through the process. Because like I said, when people take our products, they're not going to get jacked up on caffeine and sugar. They're going to be out there, experiencing some different changes, which is why we put the Living to Be Check 3 system together, so that people could check off different things that they're experiencing, because ours has a more subtle approach, because it's more integrity based. It's more about supporting your body and giving your body what it needs. It's not about jacking your system up and making you think that something good is happening when something bad is happening. And you really have to be clear on that with people, because a lot of people get the products and then they'll say, oh, I'm not experiencing anything. I don't feel anything. It's like, well, yeah, you're not going to feel anything short term. Like, it's not something that you drink and you're like, oh my God, this is so amazing, I can't go, blah, blah, blah. It's not anything like that, because that's not what you need. That's not what you want. You don't want to get your system jacked up, because that's going to be a short-term thing. That's going to crash your system. That's going to put your system in a fight or flight mode. And that's going to stress your body out, which is going to cause more damage than anything. Our products support you. They give you what they need. They give your body the support it needs to be able to start performing better, to start enhancing different things in your system, so that you can naturally go through this process. I mean, if you do the research, which I've done a lot of, if you lose weight too fast, chances are you're doing it wrong, right? You're doing it wrong, and you're gonna swing back, because if you do it too fast, your body doesn't have time to acclimate. And so you've got to do it in a nice steady pattern, a nice steady rhythm of losing weight so that your body can sustain itself and get used to the way that it is. And so as you decrease in weight, if you take care of yourself and you give your body what it needs, then it can sustain itself. Most people, and this is the sad part about the dieting yo-yo experience, is that most people are just looking to lose some weight and then that's it. And then they stop. They stop with their lifestyle. And that only hurts them because then they yo-yo back up and then they have to go through the experience again. Rather, it's just, you know what? And believe me, I'm 46 now. I'm experiencing it in my body. And it's like, I have to start watching and taking care of little things that I didn't have to take care of before. Like, I love watching my son eat because he reminds me of me when I was little. He can eat potato chips and popcorn and candy bars and drink soda all day long, and his body just keeps growing and functioning, right? Like, I do that for a weekend, and I feel like, I've completely destroyed my body for the next 6 weeks. And so, it's kind of like you want to be able to give your body what it needs, because as you get older, it takes a lot more energy and effort and function to be able to look and feel as good as you did when you were younger, drinking that crap or eating that crap. So think about that. So that's kind of where I wanted to kind of start. And I'm going to ask Lindsay, are you ready to talk?
Good night. Thank you.
You can go to bed now, child.
Oh my gosh, I thought he was sleeping and then I hear a tap, tap, tap. So, no, I really hope this sinks in for everybody, all of these different steps. I think that it's easier to incorporate the step method than anything else out there. Because if you have guidelines that you have to follow, I feel like it keeps you on the right path. And that's why I love this book so much, is because it's basically step by step by step. Like, let me give you 3 steps for this and then 4 steps here. And we're always going to go back to that 8-step process of the invitation, and even with following up. And, I really love how he talks about when you are following up with somebody and they haven't reviewed the material, not necessarily saying something like, well, why haven't you reviewed the material? I gave you so many days, or you promised me the time. Just kind of letting them know, listen, I understand you didn't get to it. When do you think you will? For sure. And I love how he says that, and it's kind of silly and quirky, but at the same time, it's real. My time is valuable. Your time is valuable. Let's respect each other's time, and and follow up again. So I love how you went over all the different points, and I really want you guys to, if you don't have the book, get the book. If you have the audio, listen and re-listen and take notes and really pinpoint some things that will help you with your business. When you first started talking, Calvin, you spoke about the, not being emotionally attached, but also helping people make a decision. That's what this is all about. This isn't about a sale. And I say it all the time. You don't want to be a resource, not a sales pitch. Let's help people make a decision that's going to positively influence and impact their lives. This is helping prospects become customers or affiliates. What is going to be best suited for them? Because if you try to set them up for something other than what they're ready for or accepting of, you're setting them up for failure. So you have to really make sure that you guys are all on the same page. And that's why he goes into the different questions that you can ask and things like that. So this has actually probably been one of my favorite chapters.
Yeah, it's a great chapter. And one of my favorite questions, which I remember hearing it for so long and thinking, oh, it's so cheesy. But the question is, what did you like best? Because you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. And that was probably when I was pretty negative at times. But, it's kind of like, what did you like best about it? And so when you're sending people or you're taking people to the automated calls or the webinar on Saturdays and Sundays, asking people, what did you like best, will tell you exactly where they are and what they're interested in. And that will give you the opportunity to go, okay, well, great. Well, let's get you that product, or, hey, let's get you signed up, like whatever it is. Because I'm sorry, there's not, if, and here's the thing, if I talk to anybody, when I do three-way calls with people, everybody is looking for something more. It's just built in. Okay. It doesn't matter. When I was making $1 million a year, it doesn't matter. I wanted more. Right. And so I was always looking, because that's when you have money to be able to invest and do this and do that. And so everybody's always looking. Everybody wants more. And if they don't want more, run the other way. Okay. Because you don't want to be associated with people like that, because they're just going to try and keep you down or keep you where you are, which is not where you want to go. Unless anybody on the phone can tell me, like, or on the Zoom can tell me, hey, I'm completely content. I don't want to grow. I don't want to get more. I don't want to make more money. I don't want any more time freedom. I'm completely content. Hey, good for you. It's like, good for you, and live that life if that's what your choice is. But so many people that we're looking to help are the people that are looking to find that next thing for them. And here's the really crazy part. And I remember talking to Aaron about this a while back, was that, when I've made the money before, okay, I've made really great money many, many times over. And so for me, it's not about the money, right? It was about the money a lot of times for me, because I was thinking, oh, well, next time when I get the money, then I'll be happy, and then I'll do the right thing, and then I'll do this, and then I'll do that. And I realized that the money has nothing to do with those things. And that's the cool part about what I believe about the culture of living to be, is because I know that I can connect with people on that level and really help people find the happiness and the joy in their lives, and find the inspiration in their lives without feeling like they have to accomplish something new. Now, what's cool about that is that when you find that place, you actually end up accomplishing a lot more, a lot faster. Okay. It's that whole law of resistance, right? When you let go, all of a sudden, boom, things start to flow. But when you're holding on, you're like, no, I want this, I want this, I want this. All of a sudden, everything gets constricted and starts to die off, because it's so tight and it can't function. But the moment you let go and you go, oh, you know what? I'm just going to do this because I love it. I'm going to talk to people because I want to. I want to talk to people because I want to share this amazing product or this amazing opportunity with them, because I want to help them. Then all the obligations and all of the fear goes away, because you're unattached. You're doing it because you want to do it, not because you feel like you need to do it or have to do it. You just want to. Like, when I meet people, if I hear that they're struggling, whether it be with their weight or with their mind or with their money, it's like, hey, listen, I've got something. It's going to require some effort on your part, but hell, it's a lot less effort than sitting there struggling and stressing out in your life every single day. All you have to do is put your energy somewhere else for a little bit longer, for a consistent basis, or on a consistent basis, and you'll end up creating something that will allow you to be free of the stress and the worry and the fighting and the resisting in your life. That's what people want. But so many people are, and this is the sad part too, is that so many people watch so much news and TV that they just assume everything's a scam, right? They assume everybody's out to get them. They assume all these different things because there's so much negativity coming at them. Like I said a couple of weeks ago, or maybe it's been a month already, I got rid of my cable. I don't have cable anymore. Screw it. Like, who cares? Who needs it, right? It's like time to build a business. Like, got to get focused. And what I realized is that all those shows that I was like, oh, I got to watch this and I got to watch that. I'm like, it's already like, I don't even remember some of the shows that I was watching. I was going, what was that show? Like, what was it? And so you've got to find the time. You've got to experience something at a different level in order to change the way things are in your life. And some of you are comfortable. I get it. You've got things coming in. You've got another job. You've got a spouse that provides, whatever it is. And so that energy and that drive is not there. But find the energy and drive because of what it is that you want to give to people and share. It doesn't have to be about building the business. But you know what? We're all here on this planet. We're all connected, and we're all working together to support each other. So find your mission in that, and being able to go out and support people. Because if you're here and you're listening to my voice right now, there is a purpose for you. There is a challenge for you. And that is to get out there and work and support people and help them through their times, be there for them, help them with their, with their weight or with their energies or with their mind or mental focus, because that's the product that we have. And then if some of you will help people with that opportunity where, when Lindsay, when I first met Lindsay, she was a waitress, and it's kind of like, now it's, she's created that success. She knows what it tastes like. And so once you go there, you can't really go back. You can't go back to waitressing and going, yep, I'm so happy. I don't miss the vacations and the freedom that I had before. I'd rather just sit here and serve a bunch of assholes. It's kind of like, whatever. So, you've really got to find that in your heart just to go, you know what? I'm going to do this because it's what I was it's what I was put on this planet to do. I'm going to go out and do this because I love people. I want to support them. I want to help them grow. I want to help them create what they want to create. And through that process, I know that I will grow. I will get what I want to create, and I will be out there making difference in the world. That's what you have to go with.
And I want to add to that.
Yeah, and once you do that, it's done. Go.
Well, you talked about, where I was at with my job and things like that. And I think what really kind of grabs me about this industry and having your own business is that dignity of choice. When you're working for somebody else, you don't get to choose. And that was very attractive to me with working my own business. You choose when you do it, how you do it, where you do it. And I mean, there's something to be said about that. You really get that freedom of creativity and expression, and you get to really find out who you are. And earlier, I believe it was the chapter prior, or maybe a couple chapters prior, where they talk about there's no more noble a business than one that develops people. And that's what we're doing here. We're helping people tap into, who they really are and what it is that they really want to accomplish. And I mean, that just feels great. So
cool. Hey, let me ask you this question. When you buy stuff online, Lindsay, do you ever read reviews or look up different things to see if it's what you want?
Sometimes. I'm more a recipe reviewer. Like, I like to read reviews of recipes.
Do you buy stuff online though?
Sometimes.
Amazon Prime?
Sometimes. I'm not a big shopper. Surprise, surprise.
Well, you're no fun. Anybody?
I know. Pick somebody else. I'm no fun.
Jackie, you're a big shopper? Okay, so unmute.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Unmute. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. So when you shop online, where do you shop? Amazon?
Amazon.
Okay.
I do a lot of Amazon.
It's like Christmas every day.
Yeah.
So when you go on Amazon, how do you make a decision to buy something?
I go to the reviews.
You do? Okay. So, okay, so I think that's one of the things that we all do. Okay. And the reason I'm going to ask this is because here's the thing. And I want to go into the next piece of this. Hold on one second. I'm just getting a little bit of feedback, so it was throwing me off a little bit, Jackie. Sorry. But that's what I wanted to know, because I do the same thing. Like when my son asks me for something, I have no clue what it is, and so I go online and I look and I Google and I go to Amazon and I look at the reviews. And if somebody doesn't have a good review, I mean, I'm very wary of buying, right? And so what I've learned is because in the last part of this chapter, Eric talks about the close. And so many people are offended by that word, right? The close. Oh, you're going to close me? Or you're going to do this? Are you going to sell me? Blah, 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 blah. And I think to myself, every single thing that we have, like this headset, this t-shirt, the water, the wine, the whatever it is that I have, you have, anybody has, that's a close. So every single thing that you buy, you were closed on. Doesn't mean that necessarily somebody sold you on it, but you sold yourself on it, right? You sold yourself on it because of what you saw, what you believed. And there's many times, I remember one time I read the reviews because my son wanted these ear pods from Apple, right? And I'm thinking, teenager, yeah, no. I mean, I've seen him destroy a pair of Beats headphones that I gave him because I was buying a new pair. And like he wants these like $160 headphones. And I'm thinking, no way in hell. So I went online to Amazon and I bought the knockoffs, right? And they were, and I read, and it's like, and you get them and they're like twice this size, and so, but I read the reviews and it seemed like a pretty good deal. But when I got them, I pulled one of them out and it cracked and it was broken. And I thought, man, I feel totally shorted on that. Of course, I sent it back and got a full refund. It was totally fine. But the point of that is that, every single thing that we do, we're being sold on. We're being closed. And so he has a 4-part close, and it's a really powerful close because, and you don't have to think of it in terms of close. It's just a terminology. It's just a phrase. It's just a way to express certain things, because what you're doing is you're closing the book on the sale. Like you're saying, okay, business is done, and here's your item. So he says the first question, right? The 4-question close. Based on what you've just seen, if you were to get started with this company on a part-time basis, approximately how much would you need to earn per month in order to make this worth your time? Now, there are 2 things going on here. Number one, you're getting them to mentally figure out what it is that they can actually spend time on. But also, too, there's this terminology, there's this idea, and you'll hear it in my languaging, you'll hear it when I talk to people. Words like imagine this, or when I say don't think of a pink elephant, what do you immediately think of, right? You think of a pink elephant. Like my little girl came over tonight, and she was, she had to go somewhere, and so she was saying goodbye, and she was like, I said, give me a hug and a kiss, and she's like, no, 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 and I was like, okay, well, don't think about how much I love you, and she's like, I know you do, and it's because when you tell people certain things, they immediately think those things. And so when you're asking them the question of like, okay, so on a, if you were going to do this on a part-time basis, approximately how much would you need to earn per month? Well, number one, you're putting them to that idea that they're earning money, which is a good thing, right? And then you're putting the idea of what their goal is. And so you're actually helping them fill out the affiliate kit already, because now you're getting an idea of what it is they need to earn. Also, too, for you, the affiliate, what you're learning is that what you need to do in order to support them to get them to that level, because when you break down the compensation plan, it's pretty clear on what you need to do to earn certain monies every month, right? Or every week. And so, it's funny because he talks about, which is so key, because when I was first becoming successful in network marketing back in 2005 and 6, if you asked any networker that was successful how much they're making, it was like, oh, I'm $10,000 a month, because that was the big thing. And it was funny because when I look at that, I go, I'd be broke like if I made $10,000 a month in network marketing, because times have changed. And now I know people that are making over $1 million in network marketing a month. So it's kind of like, what do you want to do? But the thing is, and here's the big thing, and this is something I've told Lindsay a lot of times, don't shoot a cannon at a bunny rabbit. All right? So your prospect is a bunny rabbit, and if you tell somebody, oh yeah, you can make $1 million a month in this business, and you're going to shoot them, and you're going to destroy every single fiber of their being, because people, if they can't make enough to be free and be comfortable in their lives, the last thing that they're going to be able to comprehend is to be able to make $1 million a month. And so, he talks about, he goes, instead of asking this question, most distributors say things like, how would you like to make $10,000 a month? He goes, don't do that, right? Don't do that. Ask them what they need to make. That's why I love my question that I ask people when I'm on a 3-way call or with them, when they say, hey, tell me about the opportunity. And I go, you know what? It could take a very long time. Why don't you just ask me your questions so that you can, what you need to know to get started? And it totally changes it, because instead of me regurgitating a bunch of information, compensation plan, boring them out of their minds, they may have wanted to know what's the first order bonus, and if I could have just said, oh, it's 30% on the first level, 10 or whatever, 10% on the second level, whatever it is, then that would have eliminated everything, and they would have gotten what they wanted and signed up. A lot of times we overtalk things. So question number 2 on the 4-question close, approximately how many hours could you commit each week to develop that kind of income? Again, you're getting them now to commit to the idea of what they're willing to spend the time and energy on. And again, this is from Robert Cialdini's Psychology of Influence, which is a great book, because one of the things is social proof. Okay, social proof or social commitment. When people make a commitment, they're more likely to keep that commitment. See, the reason a lot of people don't show up to these calls at times, whether it be on Tuesday night or Monday or whatever it is because They haven't publicly committed to doing it. They know it's available, and if they make it, great. If not, no big deal. But if we started to have a system to where we started to track everybody and we would post that somewhere and says, oh, so-and-so hasn't made a call in the last, 6 weeks, all of a sudden they'd be like, hell, I don't want to look like an idiot, or I don't want to look like I don't care. I'm going to start participating, right? That's why we have reward systems. That's why we have competitions, is because people want to be recognized for their efforts. So when you can get people to that point, you say, how many hours or would you be willing to commit in order to create that income? Now you've tied two very, very important pieces together. Number one, their goal, right? Their goal. And then number two, how many hours are they really willing to commit each and every week to that goal? And then once they do that, now they have given you exactly what you need to be able to support them and also hold them accountable. It was something I learned at Tony Robbins when I was working for him. When you ask people questions rather than just regurgitating information, you're educating yourself, but you're also gathering ammunition, because when you get to know somebody enough and they share enough information with you about what they're looking to achieve and what they want and what they like, you know exactly how to sell your product to them. It's a simple concept. And the fact of it is, like I said, everything we do is a selling process. The reason that any of you are married today is because you closed your husband or your wife on who and what you are, right? That's the way things work. We're all out closing people. The reason I've got my beautiful wife is because I closed her. Like I told her what she needed to hear, right? It's just one of those experiences. And so, the cool thing is that because I believe in the products, because I believe in the opportunity, I know for a fact that I can help people. So I've got to, and this is the change in the mindset that you need to have, is that if you don't know this, then you're not going to be willing to spend the time to get the answers, to get the questions out to the people so that they can provide you with what they need, and then you can tie the two together. You see, if you don't believe in the opportunity and you don't believe in the products, you're not going to put the time in. And that's why people fail. That's why people don't do what they need to do, because they don't believe in it. Now, it doesn't matter whether or not anybody else believes in it. You have to believe in it. You've got to believe in it at your core, that this is something that's going to give people something to be able to create that success. So do that, okay? So that's question number 2. Question number 3, how many months would you work those kind of hours in order to develop that kind of income? Again, another level of commitment. How many months would you be willing to work that many hours? And again, you're setting them up to help them understand that, hey, this is going to take time. I mean, this is the conversation I have with my son over an allowance because of the chores he does. I say, well, what are you doing? What chores are you doing? And then I say, well, how much time is that taking you every single time you do it? And then you add it up and you go, really, you're worth that much, right? You want to charge me that much money for that little time to be able to do the things that you do? And so if somebody comes to you and goes, hey, I want to make $10,000 a month, and you go, well, great, how many hours a week do you want to spend? They go, oh, I don't want to spend any time. Oh, well, then shit, go buy a lottery ticket, or, go ask your parents for some money. Maybe go feed your parents some ice cream and cookies and see if they can kick off sooner so you can get some life insurance or something. I don't know. But you're never going to be able to create that kind of an income, right, without being able to, put the time and energy in. And then that third question about how many months is letting them know, hey, this is not just you're going to do this week, and then next week you're going to be successful in making whatever it is that you want to make. You're going to have to put the energy in every single week, every single day, every single month, and see how long they're willing to do it. And that way you can kind of keep with them and keep them going. Question number 4, if I could show you how to develop an income of blank, which is their answer to question 1 per month, working blank, their answer to question number 2, hours a week over the course of blank months, would you be ready to get started? And they just gave you their answers. So if I was sitting there talking with Lindsay, and I was like, yeah, Lindsay, I want to make an extra $5,000 a month, and I'd be willing to spend, 4 or 5 hours a week, for the next 6 months working this. If Lindsay goes, well, great, if I could show you how to make $5,000 a month by working 5 hours a week over the next 6 months, so are you ready to get started? What am I going to say? No, I was just joking, right? No, they're going to be like, well, yeah, of course. And then that's when you've got them into the idea of what we're doing. And then you don't have to worry about it when they get involved and you're worried like, are they going to quit next week? No, because they understand it's going to take time. It's going to take energy. It's going to take consistency. It's going to take long-term like action to be able to create that. And so then you've got enough of those people working and your business is going to start to grow. Because when people understand that they have to put the energy and effort in, they know that when they're sitting there watching, Friends for the 17th time, like on Netflix, they know they're not working their business, right? So hopefully with everything that we've got going, with the products, the opportunity, the new, we've got the skincare line that's coming up, all these different things that are coming out for people to get them engaged and involved, they can go out there and create the success for themselves and be committed to it and stay long-term. That's the one thing that every company experiences is people get in and they get out because, I don't know what some people are telling. I was going to say some of you guys are telling people, but a lot of people tell each other, that, oh, you don't have to do anything. You're just going to, place your order and you're going to get rich. I don't know, because people come up with this idea that they should be receiving something and yet they're not doing anything. Like that's called welfare. I mean, if you want to do that, I mean, I don't know where you can go live. But, it's kind of like you just do nothing and you get something. That's not how this business works. You've got to put the time and energy in every single day, every single week, every single month, and create momentum in order to achieve the success that you want to achieve. So that's the chapter. I'm going to turn it back over to Lindsay really quick and see if she has anything to add.
No, except for, that's all really great information.
Well, then that's a yes.
Well, you do such a great job kind of highlighting the chapter and reading from the book. Right. Well, listen, I really just want everyone to practice those questions. Practice that in a conversation, do it with a friend, do it in the mirror, because the more prepared you are to ask those questions, the more it's going to flow naturally and you're going to be able to really kind of identify the best way to help people and to get them started. So practice makes perfect.
Practice does make perfect. And I'll tell you this from my own personal experience. So when I first started working for Tony Robbins, I'd spoken one time before in public in front of like 300 people, and I bombed in front of my dad and all of his associates. It was terrible. It was terrifying. I literally walked off the stage before my presentation was done. I was so terrified. And but when I started working for Tony, they were like, oh, you're going to go in and teach people and train people in this. And I'm like, I don't have no clue. Right. And they said, oh, don't worry, we're going to teach you. And I said, oh, okay. And so 9 days straight, we were in like an all-day training session with that guy, Eric Lothholm, that I've talked about before. And what was really cool is that they told me, if you want to get good at this, you need to practice every day. Like you need to do your presentation. This was a 30-something page script that we had to memorize in order to be put out on the road and work for Tony Robbins. And you think 30 pages, what the hell? And I'm like, that's what I thought too. But when you really are excited about something and you're committed to what you're doing and you love what you're doing, you learn it. And the only way that you learn it is you eat, breathe, and everything that script. And I remember recording it into I think it was a cassette tape because we didn't have anything else back then. I think maybe we had computers with CDs. But I remember listening to it over and over and over again. I would go to sleep with it. But the thing that really put it over the top for me is that Eric had said, if you really want to work on your energy levels and work on getting this done right, he goes, you need to do it in front of a wall. You've got to do it in front of the mirror. And he goes, because if you can sustain your energy and you can sustain your focus and your enthusiasm, your passion and what you're doing in front of a mirror or in front of a wall that is giving you nothing in return, he goes, you will be able to go out there and create the success. And of course, within it was like a 3-month cycle, it was, I became one of the top performers in the company. And so I was like rated #1. And it was because I was willing to put the work in, because I had I was screwed if I didn't, you know? I was kind of like, I don't know what I'm going to do if I don't do this, because I was literally homeless before that. And it was kind of a crazy experience in my life where I was living in my car. And then I went to this seminar in Dallas, Texas. I was at Tony Robbins, and somebody said, hey, you'd really be great at doing this, because I was really enthusiastic at the event, but I was not enthusiastic when I was talking to people or presenting. I was just being a goofball. And so they said, you'd be really great. And so I took the job. And so it was exciting, but I was really scared that if I didn't do this, I didn't know what I was going to do. And so, but if you do that, and this is the thing, this is what sets people apart. When you want to really question why somebody makes a ton of money in this business versus somebody that doesn't make a ton of money, it's because of the activity that they do every single day, not only to engage people and work the business, but also the work that they do on themselves, the studying, the understanding, the practice, doing a three-way call with yourself. Really putting yourself out there to be able to experience this, and asking those questions like, hey, well, what did you like best? And ask yourself that question in the mirror. Maybe it'll be some great free therapy too. I don't know. I don't like the way you said that, Calvin. Who knows, right? But you have to be willing to do what everybody else is unwilling to do. That's where the missing ingredient is for people in their success. See, if you're not successful in this business, you're not doing what you need to do. You're not doing what everybody else is going to do. I've got a friend of mine who's out there building a business, Tara, and she had like 4,500 people coming into her business this month or last month. And I was like, kudos to you. But she's out there building her business. And it's a product that I take it, it's just a little pill, and it's okay. But I don't feel anything from it, but they're out there recruiting thousands of people every single month. Because why? They're passionate, they're excited, and they're out there talking to people about it. Right? That's it. That's all it is. We've got some great marketing material on the Inspired and the information that's out there about what it does for people. And that should be enough, because it doesn't matter what information you give people. It doesn't matter. What they want to know is that you matter, right? They want to know that you care. They want to know that you really do want them to experience something beneficial by taking the product, because it's going to benefit them. They don't want to be sold, right? So when you really care about people and you experience that, it's going to create that experience for you. And then you will create success, bar none. And I've done it with so many people, helped them create tens of thousands of dollars a month in income because of what it means to care about other people. So with that being said, I appreciate everybody that showed up tonight. Thank you so much. Sorry about last week. We had technical difficulties. I know a couple of you joined, but I wasn't able to connect. And it was just like, I was going, what the hell's going on here? So I'm glad everything worked out. I appreciate everybody. I'm going to post this. So if you want to watch it again and watch me rant and rave and have fun, that'll be great. So anything else, Lindsay?
No. Thanks everyone for getting on. And Calvin, thank you so much for everything that you do.
Absolutely. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye, Jackie.